From Royal Communications Incorporated, good afternoon and welcome to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Tuesday, September 16, 2025, and I'm Shema Dia presenting. In the headlines, oxygen tank explosion leaves several people injured, probably destroyed at Mira Oxygen Power Facility on Bojo Island. Criminal Court the roots in Liberia's first piracy case convicts Michael Oporto, a Nigerian, for hacking a Chinese fishing vessel on Liberian territorial waters. And also the news this afternoon, criminal justice expert and renowned human rights lawyer Councillor Tiawan Gonglo demands prosecution of youth and sports deputy minister for youth development, Brian McGill, for allegedly raping the 14-year-old girl. Away from home, a court in Zambia has sentenced two men to 2 years in prison for attempting to use witchcraft to kill President Hakainde Hichilema. Police have physically removed the Gambia's Auditor General from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Adama Barrow. This was a news bulletin, voices of those making the news out of package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture with Johnson and Juice with the news bulletin.
A major explosion Monday hit Mira Oxygen Power Facility outside Monrovia, leaving several persons, workers critically injured. The massive explosion left multiple properties belonging to Mira Oxygen Power destroyed. Although authorities are yet to report lives casualty, several workers at the oxygen plant have sustained severe injuries and are hospitalized. Mira Oxygen Power Facility, located on the Butcher Island, was commissioned in October 2022 and served as the largest medical oxygen plant in Liberia. The facility was a project by the World Health Organization and supported by other partners to address critical oxygen shortages in Liberia. Criminal Court D resident judge Mamita Saliv Monday sentenced one Nigerian to 5 years at the Moravia Central Prison for hijacking a vessel on high sea. Though defendant Michael Oputa and Titus Izina have since admitted hijacking the ship on high sea and were seeking for a plea bargaining agreement, Judge Saliv ruled that the facts in the case complicated. Implicated only defendant Michael Opoto told the criminal why his colleague Titus Izina was acquitted by the court. Renowned human rights lawyer and criminal justice expert Councillor Tiawan Gonglo has called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of Ministry of Youth and Sports Deputy Minister for Youth Development Brian McGill, who is accused of raping a 14-year-old girl. In a pre-recorded statement posted on his official Facebook page Monday, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo said, based on the gravity of the allegation, the accused deputy minister and should not be seen moving around freely, but rather placed in police custody. He also criticized the government for what he termed selective justice, adding that all suspects of crime must be dealt with the same way. Councillor Tiawan Gonglo also challenged Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman to effect the arrest of Brian McGill and ensure he faces the full weight of the law. The Student Unification Party at the University of Liberia has vowed to continue its protest against the administration of the university. SUP is demanding the immediate rehabilitation of all buildings and classes, improvements of libraries, student centers, and student life faculty conditions, among others. The Secretary General of the Student Unification Party, Odysseus Moloba, during Monday protest said the student body is prepared to take the administration head on if it fails to adhere to its demands. According to him, no amount of threat will make them to give up their demands, noting that the university administration and the government are aware of their concerns. A lecturer at the United Methodist University is under scrutiny following the release of a leaked audio in which he was allegedly soliciting money from students in exchange for passing grades. The instructor, identified as Cyrus Johnson, is reportedly a social science lecturer at both United Methodist University and the University of Liberia. In the recording, Instructor Johnson is here requesting 50 and 25 United States dollars from students who had failed his course at UMU in order to receive a passing grade. The audio recording has since raised concern in the public, with many questioning the academic integrity at various universities and other areas of learning. Meanwhile, defending his alleged action, instructor Cyrus Johnson claimed that the payment are meant to instill seriousness among students. He accused many of them of prioritizing social activities over their academic responsibility, despite their parents' financial sacrifices to ensure they receive proper education. Instructor Cyrus Johnson further attributed the students' poor performance to lack of commitment to their education, adding that the financial incentives for grades serve as a corrective measure. Also speaking about his 25 years of experience in the teaching profession, he admitted that it is common practice for students at both United Methodist University and the University of Liberia to pay money in exchange for grades. However, following the release of the audio, the administration of United Methodist University has not released an official statement on the matter. About 30 students are said to be benefiting from Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation 4-month internship program aimed at fostering youth development through practical work experience. According to LWSC management, the initiative is part of the government's broader effort to empower young people through internship opportunities across public institutions. Speaking at LWSC headquarters, the managing director, Mo Ali, explained that the students were selected from various high schools and universities across Liberia, vetted by the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. He added that the interns have now been assigned across all 5 divisions of the corporation: administration, management, technical services, finance, and sales and marketing. The Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation Managing Director urged the interns to be committed and vigilant in their assigned roles throughout the duration of their internship. Also speaking, a representative from the interns, Edmund Will, lauded the government and the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation for the opportunity. The principal of Kingsley Linton Academy, Harrison Saka, has congratulated students of the institution for a successful pass in the 2024-2025 West African Senior High Certificate Examination. 102 students of the institution sat this year's national exam, making an exceptional pass, something Saka attributed to collective efforts from both the students and administrative staff. The school, with an enrollment of about 600 students, is one of the fastest growing institutions providing quality education in Liberia. The Catholic Metropolitan Archbishop of Monrovia, Gabriel Blamo Jugbe, has raised a serious concern over the rising wave of drug abuse among Liberian youth across the country. Speaking during a homily when he paid a visit to Immaculate Conception Parish in Portland over the weekend. Archbishop Jugwe described the rising wave of drugs abuse as a national tragedy, tearing families apart. Bong University Students Union President Gabriel Sarr is calling on students of the university to remain calm and channel their grievances through proper procedures. Mr. Sarr described the UL student protests as violent and unlawful, emphasizing that while there are legitimate concerns over the university poor conditions resulting to disruptions such as vandalism and stone throwing undermines the institution's credibility. According to him, although there are several challenges faced by the students, including lack of seating facilities, inadequate laboratory equipment, and poor state of the university latrines, protests should not be considered an option. And Bonn County Senator Prince Moy over the weekend distributed school materials among school-going kids in Zota District, Bonn County. Speaking during the exercise, Senator Prince Moy encouraged the students to remain focused and take their studies seriously. The distribution of school materials took place at Oloya Public School in Zota District. Senator Prince Moore urged the students of the public school to prioritize their education, adding that going to farm would not make them successful.
Sam Andrews with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. A reminder you're listening to King's News Broom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Stories to follow in this afternoon. Oxygen tank explosion leaves several people injured and properties destroyed at Mira Oxygen Power Facility on Butcher Island. Criminal could be roots in Liberia's first piracy case convicts Michael Opoto, a Nigerian, for hijacking a Chinese fishing vessel on Liberia territorial waters. Criminal justice expert and renowned human rights lawyer Councilor Tier 1 Gonglo demands prosecution of Youth and Sports Deputy Minister for Youth Development Brian McGill for allegedly raping the 14-year-old sentenced two men to 2 years in prison for attempting to use witchcraft to kill President Hakande Hashiniman. Police have physically removed the Gambia's Auditor General from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Adam Barrow. We'll take a break to be right back with Voices of the Newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Renowned human rights lawyer and criminal justice expert Councilor Tiawon Gonglo has called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of Ministry of Youth and Sport Deputy Minister for Youth Development Brian McGill, who is accused of raping a 14-year-old girl. In a pre-recorded statement posted on his official Facebook page Monday, Councilor Gonglo said, based on the gravity of the allegation, the accused deputy minister should not be seen moving around freely but rather placed in police custody. He also criticized the government for what he termed selective justice, adding that all suspects of crime must be dealt with in the same form and manner.
I am so angry this morning to hear that Deputy Minister McGill, the man who was accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, is passing up and down the street. He should be in the police cell, that he has not been arrested. We cannot have selective justice. Article 11C of the Constitution calls for equal protection. The same way you treat people from West Point, Soliwang, or Vubadi in Sino, when they are accused of crime, the same way you should treat a high official of government. Why do I say so? When I was Solicitor General and my good friend Roland Khan was senator, and the police came to me with a report, a team led by Sam Sion, chief of investigation at that time, and said, we are investigating, but Senator Roland Khan's name has featured as a co-conspirator. I said, go and arrest him. I will answer the question. They told me, oh, he's a member of the Senate. Can't we write the Senate to excuse him to be arrested? I said, no, there's nothing in the law that says so. He was immediately arrested and put at the back of the pickup, handcuffed along with other defendants. All suspects of crime must be treated the same way. It undermines the rule of law. I'm calling upon the police to immediately arrest former Deputy Minister McGill. He should be former Deputy Minister. This is wrong for a mayor who was appointed, nominated and confirmed by the Senate to protect the young people and to carry on youth development to become a threat. The survival of the young people is not anything that the government should take lightly. I'm calling upon President Boakai to tell the police director to move speedily, because these are the things that can make the police disrespected in the communities. The whole country is watching.
Councillor Tier 1 Gonglover speaking. The Student Unification Party at the University of Liberia has vowed to continue its protest against the administration of the University of Liberia. SUP is demanding immediate rehabilitation of all buildings and classes, improvement of libraries, student centers, and student life faculty condition, among many others. Secretary General of the Student Unification Party, Odesus Moba, during Monday protest, said the student body is prepared to fix the administration head if they fail to adhere to their demands.
Why is it that the government or the administration is not concerned about the legitimate cause of the Vanguard Party? We have been saying there are issues we are confronted with. And then you see us as hooligans. We are telling you that we are veterans of iron trap. We are veterans of a confused semester. We are veterans of Mapaya in aptitude. We are veterans of dilapidated environment. We are veterans of the Kwakale regime, the cat of the State One University. We are demanding we call hooligans. Hooligans. How will university students be hooligans? The real hooligans, like we say, are people who have our resources and are stealing from the country and cannot contribute to the society and cannot contribute to the University of Liberia. We want to make this clear. The Vanguard Student Unification Party, the current president of the University of Liberia, who has refused to listen to the plight of thousands of students, who has grown monster, who has become unconscious, who is being used or part and parcel of the corrupt cartel of the university, who is appointing and teaching out money from the University of Liberia, who is illegally employing people for their salaries and arrears. A Mapaya who has given less than 10 retroactive salary with faculty and John staff are yet to be employed, but she has brought 50 employees of the University of Liberia. Mapaya is a contradiction. Mapaya is the worst thing that ever happened to the University of Liberia. She must leave the university now. Like we said, there will be unspecified. Down. On the board of trustees, the reason why we say that the board of trustees is illegitimate, illegal, you must realize today that the board of trustees has statutory position. The current chair on education at the level of the Senate, the legislature, is not in the board of trustees. Mr. McGill, Nathaniel McGill should be the chair of the board of trustees. Not particular member of the board of trustees to leave. My friend is using an illegal board of trustees to maneuver away as the institute of malicious agenda. But the Vanguard Student Unification Party is scared that we will not take any instruction from illegitimate board of trustees. If particular thing can challenge the party, any attempt to suspend a single student of the University of Liberia will ensure made the country ungovernable. Any attempt for my parent to suspend a single student of the University of Liberia should be immediately suspended by the Vanguard Student Unification Party. So we are very clear about it. You cannot intimidate us. Our concerns are legitimate and justifiable. We have presented thousands of our number. Our concerns documented with facts or wrong.
Subsecretary General. Well, this is Mobata speaking. A lecturer at the United Methodist University is under strengthening following the release of a leaked audio recording of which he was allegedly soliciting money from students in exchange for passing grades. The instructor, identified as Cyrus Johnson, is reportedly a social science instructor at both UMU and the University of Liberia. In the recording, Johnson is heard requesting 50 and 25 USD from students who had failed his course at UMU in order to receive a passing grade.
The law dans les parents assis. Souvent, on vient les classes là. Everybody, don't get me back again. Everybody will talk for that shit. Do that thing. Do that thing. You play your part. And you get on me. Tomorrow, history was only that. The president's on it. No, you said it in four. I'm telling you. I sent it a year, and because they put it, they come and copy another semester. Yeah, you see the copy, everybody keep asking anybody for that. So I swear, I can't waste all you go. Because you go, you come here, you can give me if you want. I was saying, my father, I was scratch cards. I was scratch cards. Tell them what it's on the top. I love that. I know you. Follow with him. So you didn't wear that this fully? No, I wouldn't. For the 10 hours, I seen the fellow one. I do now. You're timid. I saw my come. I bet you may ever than you back. I may ever. You may ever be going for boyfriend. You start to school, you pass a boyfriend play. Where? What are you not see me was my I grab my go, Bola, Bola woman. Miss Adri, not see me was my own. I come back. Yeah, they you want to go where? I don't go Belgium. All right, yeah, father, yeah. Yeah, whenever you. All right, I see you. You want to go be here, you want to correct me. I get to anything. Just forget it. So you're coming to class and say, okay, I change my mind for that. So now I say, bring a small amount. Then you able to bring a small amount. People are more than you. No, but probably I shall support and yeah, but even it's also supported. So then also even it's also better. Oh, okay, but I think this over and but you just bring that kind of pin information when you get big problem. You don't do that.
Leaked audio of Cyrus Johnson, a lecturer at the United Methodist University and University of Liberia. About 30 students are said to be benefiting from the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation 4-month internship program aimed at fostering youth development through practical work experience. According to the LWSC Management Initiative, is part of government's broader effort to empower young people through internship opportunities across public institutions. Speaking at the LWSC headquarters on Monday, Managing Director Mo Ali explained that the students were selected from various high schools and universities across the country, vetted by the Ministry of Finance.
I want to first extend thanks to the Ministry of Finance for sending more people to help us with our work. We have a lot of work here. At least they will be paying also. But it's 4 months, and those of you who want to learn, you will learn a lot. Those in the area of management, our administration people will drill you through. You will learn a lot. Those of you who intend to do procurement in the future, you will learn a lot in procurement. Those who want to go into the technical field, engineering, plumbing, we also have those here. Also, once in a while, we'll take you to White Plains to go see how it works there. So I want to say welcome. After here, like the administration man said, there is going to be orientation. But I will also want those who are just high school graduates to list their areas of interest, so that we can assign them appropriately, that they begin to have practical ideas on what they intend to do in the future. When you have the practical experience, it's easy in the classroom. because you would have already known what is coming. So on this note, we have series of other meeting. Monday is a whole meeting day package from one meeting to another. So I want to say welcome. Have a great stay at Water and Sewer. We will do monthly evaluation. Even the interns from schools, when the school send them, we do monthly evaluation of your performance and send it to the people who send you. In this case, we'll do a monthly evaluation and send it to Ministry of Finance.
Mo Ali, LWSC Managing Director, also speaking a representative of the interns. Edmund Will lauded the government through the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation for the opportunity. He described it as a significant step that will equip young people with valuable hands-on experience within government institutions.
A very big thank you in the Liberia Water and Sewer for giving us such an opportunity to see ourselves in the workspace of the public sector. It is an honor and also an opportunity for us, especially as young people trying to better our life. I hope we will be able to use this opportunity as veterans to understand the work ethics of the public sector, and also at the end of the day, we should be able to have an opportunity to work to these various entities that they are sending us to.
He's Edmund Will, representative of the 30 or over 30 interns said to be benefiting from the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation internship program. The principal of Kingsley Langton Academy, Harrison Circle, has congratulated students of the institution for a successful pass in the 2024-2025 West African Senior School Certificate Examination. 102 students of Kingsley Academy School sat this year's national exam, making an exceptional pass, something Circle attributed to collective efforts from both the students and administrative staff.
Schools. Our success is in many folds. One, I will come to the issue of the wise results because I know that's what you want to hear. But to start something from scratch without having a blueprint that I want to establish school, and then seeing that from emerging from a youth center to a school and having a school up to present that has about 600 students, that's a mass success. Instructional wise, the school is also blessed to have the quality of teachers that we can boast of. In one of my media engagements, I told we told the public that the school has a benchmark for admitting people who come here to teach. So that is, if you are coming to Kingston into Academy to teach, you must meet a minimum benchmark as per the Ministry of Education's requirement that you must have at least a C certificate or a B certificate or AA degree, bachelor's degree, and so on and so forth. So in the same vein, that's how our salary structure is being done. So that's one of the blessings. That's one of the prospects of this institution with the quality of teachers. The school has about 36 teachers, excluding administrators, janitors, other support staff like the kickball, the football, the music coaches that we have, but 36 instructional staff. And that number, all of them, if you count, go back to 2012 up to present, is just 13 years. In just 13 years, the school has full gigantic structure.
Harrison Circle is the principal of Kingsley Langton Academy. Third speaking. A reminder, you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories you follow in this afternoon: oxygen tank explosion leaves Several people injured and properties destroyed at Mira Oxygen Power Facility on Butcher Island. Criminal Code V rules in Liberia's first piracy case convicts Michael Opoto, a Nigerian, for hijacking a Chinese fishing vessel on Liberia territorial waters. Criminal justice expert and renowned human rights lawyer Councilor Tier 1 Gonglo demands prosecution of Youth and Sports Deputy Minister for Youth Development Brian Michael McGill for allegedly raping a 14-year-old girl. Away from home, a court in Zambia has sentenced two men to 2 years in prison for attempting to use witchcraft to kill President Akandi Ashiniman. Police have physically removed the Gambia's Auditor General from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Adama Barrow. We'll take a break to be back with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The Kakli Metropolitan Archbishop of Monrovia, Gabriel Blamo Jubwe, has raised a strong alarm over the rising wave of drug abuse among Liberian youth across the country. Speaking during Homely when he paid a visit to the Immaculate Conception Parish in Publine over the weekend, Jubwe, the Archbishop described the rising wave of drugs abuse as a national tragedy, tearing families apart.
Tell the students of the University of Liberia to remain calm because we know issues are on the
Juba, Gabriel.
Our hearts are bleeding, for we see many of our children, young people, dying right before us in the land of drugs, illegal drugs in our country. Great year, Immaculate Conception, the population, the enrollment, 509 students. Non-Catholics, out of the 509 students, we have 407 who are non-Catholics. And 102 Catholics. Well, we are proud that non-Catholics believe in our education. But let us not pat ourselves on the back and just be complacent and just sit and be satisfied. No. The reason for which we establish our schools, we must fulfill that mission. So, it's been ordered. It's not religious educational, catechumenate program to prepare the children in their school for the reception of the sacraments, to share our faith even with non-Catholics so they know this is what we believe. Do you know if you send your children to some other schools, they are forced to follow. We don't force people, but we must share it.
Also speaking, Councillor Ambrose Mann, president of the Catholic Lawyers Association of Liberia, promised the Archbishop Jubwe that the association will fight legally to protect the church's properties.
Our dynamic Archbishop organization will have to survive. Why do we have the Catholic Lawyers Association? Professionals, we sought to look for Catholics who are lawyers and not lawyers who are Catholics. And there's a big difference between Catholics who are lawyers and lawyers who are Catholics. For lawyers who are Catholics, our profession comes first before anything else. For Catholics who are lawyers, our doctrine comes first before our profession. For Catholics who are lawyers, wherever we stand to practice our profession, we first stand as Catholics, carrying the Catholic values and the teachings before we apply it to our profession. And today, as the Archbishop has been doing, we are pleased to grow our numbers from 15 in 2018 to 107 today. Now we want to be who are finding themselves in this parish and in this community. When we go along with the Archbishop to induct the lawyers, we bring message. These lawyers that are going to be inducted into this community today, Father, they are at the disposal of the church. For far too long, many people have taken advantage of the Catholic Church in Liberia. First, starting with us, Catholics. Like His Grace said, the value of the things we have, we don't know, and we underestimate it.
He's considered Ambrose Man. Ella, you heard the voice of Catholic Metropolitan Archbishop of Morovia, Gabriel Blamo Dubue. Bon County Students Union President Gabriel Saad is calling on students of the University of Liberia to remain calm and channel their grievances through proper procedure. Saad described the U.S. student protest as violent and unlawful, emphasizing that while there are legitimate concerns over the university's poor conditions, resulting to disruptions such as vandalism and stone throwing undermines the institution's credibility.
Tell the students of the University of Liberia to remain calm because we know issues are on the campuses of the University of Liberia. Mm-hmm. But we continue to send the message of non-violence. Violence has never solved our problem in this country. From lack of ages, Liberians have been protesting, using violent means to protest, to stage protests, vandalizing properties, destroying properties, and all of that. But this has taken us nowhere. So as president of the Broom University Students Union, we found all forms of violence on the university campuses, the University of Liberia campuses. We are saying to the students we should refrain from violence. We don't support violence in any form. And we are calling on the students and all student leaders that we remain peaceful, we remain calm. There are more proper means. Like recently, I was telling some of the Congress, there are more proper means of channeling our message to the Liberian government and also to the administration of the University of Liberia. Comrade, I don't know if you have the time, but I want you to permit me a little time so that I can use it a bit.
Yeah,
now coming to the issue about addressing the happenings on the campuses of the University of Liberia, we can use a more diplomatic means.
He's Gabriel Saad, Bon University Students Union President. Bon County Senator Prince Moy over the weekend distributed school materials among school-going kids in Zota District, Bon County. Speaking during the exercise, Senator Moy encouraged the students to remain focused and take their studies seriously.
Nobody should drop from school yet. Yes. Anyone be that success tomorrow? Yes. Anyone be that me tomorrow? Yes. So the only way you can achieve is to go to school. Huh? Yes. So not go on the fire pit and go to school, yeah? Yes. So I can be people tomorrow. You know? Yes. Okay, I'm talking to you now.
His Bon County Senator Prince Moy. Away from home, a court in Zambia has sentenced two men to 2 years in prison for attempting to use witchcraft to kill President Hakainde Hichilema. Ken Justin Manbolit were convicted on the Witchcraft Act after being arrested in December with charms in their possession, including live chameleon. The case has been closely followed in Zambia, as this was the first time anyone was caught or put on trial for attempting to use witchcraft against a president. And police have physically removed the Gambia's Auditor General from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Adama Barrow. CC, who has spent almost 3 years as Auditor General in the West African state, says he had turned down Barrow's recent offer to become Trade Minister. Yet the president insists that Cisse originally agreed but later changed his mind. The road has angered many Gambians, with some accusing the president of trying to replace Cisse with someone who will shield him from corruption allegations. So on that note, that's how we come to the end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Oxygen tank explosion leaves several people injured and properties destroyed at Mirai Oxygen Power Facility on Bojo Island. Criminal COVID rules in Liberia's first piracy case convict Michael Opoto, a Nigerian, for hijacking a Chinese fishing vessel on Liberia territorial waters. You also heard in the news criminal justice expert and renowned human rights lawyer, Councilor Tier 1 Gonglo demands prosecution of Youth and Sports Deputy Minister for Youth Development, Brian McGill, for allegedly raping a 14-year-old girl. Away from home, a court in Zambia has sentenced 2 men to 2 years in prison for attempting to use witchcraft to kill President Akande Hashineman. Police have physically removed the Gambia's Auditor General from his office after he refused to give up the post in a government reshuffle carried out by President Adama Barrow. And thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Sam Andrews brought you the news bulletin. Marvin Vass at our control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Sherman Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.